Chaymanta sichus munanki chayllapi tiyanki, sichus almuerza jarita munanki chayqa rillanki samakunki wayqa, ¿ya?
Ya bueno, entonces estaba bien, me que con la capas especialata con Saminchay con calerisunch que rimanaco y somaglia calerinampa que guabacunaban. Solapacunaban. Entonces con nada somagta guajarisunch sabun skunata kachimama skunata somaglia calerikunampa. Por pila y son culay. Mamachilla,
Ni Shusuma Guajaricui. Juan, compadre. Beautiful. Okay, Susie Kusipata, are you still there?
Say again.
This is what we learn in Paco school. You're going to be Guajaricuing like Juan at the end of our year. You can learn to invoke and call like Juan just did. That's what we're learning in our Paco school, honey.
Wow. Gracias, Juan.
Baby.
Gracias, Juan.
Ya, de nada. Y también para usted siempre ayudamos, protegemos todos los expertos, la Pachamama, experto por montaña, experto contra el experto aéreo, en tu trabajo, en tu salud. Gracias. Bye,
Gracias,
bye.
Papa. Those are these prayers that is sent for you all, which is going to help you protecting yourself with the blessings of the Condor, the Apus, Pachamama, Águila Real. That's what Juancito said.
And the Puma.
And the Puma, of course. Okay, so you all know to Juan, Victor, and Gloria, yeah? Because they gave us some lectures before, so we will have the honor to have to both of them again, you know, and give us this very nice lecture. They don't have anything to show. We won't have any sharing in PowerPoint, but they will speak, okay? They will tell us. They will give us an oral history about the arrival of the Spaniards to Ero nation. Okay. Juan Víctor, Huejei, Panay, Gloria, Ojmanta mama presenta Ikamuchis, Yamanta y Mamanta Rimanquichis, Jayarinapaj.
Hermanos, hermanas, con todos presentes, buenas tardes. Y nosotros estamos muy feliz al estar al frente de ustedes. Mi nombre es Juan Víctor Apaza Machacca y de la comunidad Queros, ¿no? Y ahora vamos a presentar nosotros como que los españoles o españoles prácticamente, ¿no? Entonces, ¿con qué condición eso, no? Muchas gracias.
Gloria.
Hola, buenas tardes, hermanos, hermanas. Yo también estoy muy feliz de haber estado en contacto con Ana, con cada uno de ustedes. Soy de la comunidad Eros, tengo 21 años. Y gracias.
Okay. Okay, so my brothers and sisters, this is what Juan Victor said. My brothers and sisters, good afternoon with you all. We are very happy to be in front of you and being able to share some histories. My name is Juan Victor Apaza Machacca, and I come from the Quero community. Yeah, and so, yeah, we are going to speak about the arrival of the Spaniards, you know, to Quero nation. And Gloria says, my brothers and sisters, I'm very happy to be with you. My name is Gloria, and I'm 21 years old. Ok, podemos comenzar. ¿Cuál es el título de vuestra presentación, chicos?
Es la llegada de los españoles a la comunidad Queros.
Perfecto, muy bien. Entonces, Huayjapanaykuna, con mucha confianza, ¿sí? Son cochayquichismanta lluqsejina, ya yachasqaykichis kajina riki munay. De corazón y con confianza nos cuentan de canto, todo con mucha confianza. ¿Sí? Perfecto. ¿Quién va a comenzar?
Para presentar en diapositiva no me aparece acá en la pantalla.
Ah, ¿tienes diapositivas?
Sí.
Ajá. Me lo has debido enviar eso para que para que no te jale mucho el internet.
Ahora le envío ahora.
Sí, me puedes enviar, no hay ningún problema. Al toque lo abro. Mientras ustedes van haciendo una pequeña presentación, hablando, yo al toque lo voy a...
Pero el computador no aparece.
Should I make him co-host, Freddy?
I think he's going to send it to me, so the internet will be easier for him. Because if she shares and speaks at the same time, his internet won't be able to...
Handle.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll make you co-host,
Ya,
Freddy.
le voy a pasar hoy.
Ya, me lo pasas. ¿A qué correo me lo estás mandando? ¿A Gmail o Hotmail?
A WhatsApp, sí.
A WhatsApp. Ya, chévere, chévere. Está bien, está bien.
So they are in the community of Choa Choa right
Ochoa,
now.
yeah.
In Hatunqueros,
Yeah, exactly.
which is the highest elevation community.
Exactly.
It's so cold up there. It's like
Oh my God.
14,000 feet. So cold.
Even is sunny is cold.
Yeah, even when it's sunny.
¿Ya lo mandaste?
The first time we went to Choa Choa, 1995, it was so cold, and All our pack horses were lost. We didn't, because they were taking a shortcut. All of our clothes, tents, food, everything, all our warm clothes, they're all lost. So we were huddling in this tiny little Quero stone house with no window, and the wind was coming in, and it was like and it was hot at noon. It was hot at noon. We were eating lunch and it was hot. Ooh. Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Muy bien, Juan Víctor, muy bien. Abre tu micrófono, hijo. Micrófono ikita kichay.
No te escuchamos, nada.
Micrófono ikita kichanki. Para abrir tu micrófono, vas a tu ventana, a la ventanita donde estás apareciendo tú. Ahí te va a aparecer un icono de abrir micrófono. Abre tu micrófono, Juan Víctor.
Hola, hola.
Ahora sí.
Ya.
Ok. Comenzamos, Juan Víctor, comenzamos.
Ok. Bueno, nosotros vamos a presentar lo que es la llegada de los españoles o de los invasores a la comunidad Queros, ¿no? Acá donde es una abra, Huicacunca, es por donde han venido, ¿no? Esta acá es el abra principal, ahí han venido, acá más adelante vamos a ver un poco más. Y acá la comunidad Queros, ¿no? Después, abra Huicacunca. Es por acá han empezado a hacer caminata, han bajado los españoles, ¿no? En caballo, todo con su armamento, a busca de oro, ¿no? No así a invadir o a matarlos a los... Nosotros acá en la comunidad Queros vivíamos siempre, ¿no? Con incas. En sí no han matado a los incas, los españoles. Entonces nosotros permanecíamos porque era muy lejos, ¿no? De la ciudad. Acá, por ejemplo, era en el país, ¿no? El país del Perú, digamos, es Lima principal, ¿no? Entonces, en caso de los incas era la ciudad Cusco, ¿no? Entonces, nosotros así, de la ciudad Cusco es muy lejos de allá, la comunidad Queros. Entonces, es por así, no han invadido los españoles acá, ¿no? La comunidad Queros. Y así han venido, entonces acá ya está bajando el camino por acá, ¿no? Entonces, ahí vamos a ver, van a llegar, ahí está lo que es la montaña Huayruruni. Y más adelante ahí.
¿Cuál es Guayruruni?
Apu Huayruruni, el principal del protector de la comunidad Queros, ¿no? Después han hecho el campamento en Chuyupampa. Chuyupampa, ¿dónde está? Y... ¿qué? Un poquito más. Y acá han bajado, ahí abajo es Chuyupampa, la unión de dos anexos en los ríos, ¿no? Y el río de Chuachuba y el río de Chaymachimpana. Es la unión, es donde han hecho el campamento los que han venido a saquear el oro, ¿no? y han venido en busca de oro los españoles. Entonces han
Okay.
venido con los caballos, todo, ¿no?
Ya, gracias. Juan Víctor, hasta ahí voy a traducirles, ¿ya? Tú vaya preparando
Ya.
la segunda parte o lo que va a continuar. Tú o Gloria, el que va a hablar, ¿ya? Okay, so Juan Víctor and Gloria are presenting us this lecture about the arrival of the Spaniards to the community of Eros. In reality, as Juan Víctor and Gloria says, you know, the Spaniards were not looking for the Ero people. You know, this wasn't even from their interest. The Ero people were always living isolated in this remote place, right? Yeah, and then by instance, you know, they didn't or they were not really affected by the invaders that, you know, the Spaniards who's mainly arrived to Lima, the capital of Peru, and Cusco, which was the capital of the Inca kingdom. So they were more interested on those cities. They were not even interested, or they were not even, you know, dragged by the existence of the Jero people. The reason why these people passed by these regions and they could, you know, arrive to the Jero nation, it's because they had information about places, you know, which has a lot of gold. So their aim was to seek a lot of gold in that region, which of course exists. Okay. Well, this is not what Juan Victor said, not even Gloria, but this is what I'm telling you. You see these mountains that is present in Juan Victor. All these mountains are preserved by the Ministry of Culture, by instance, UNESCO. This is an reserved area, okay? So all these mountains are full of gold, full of silver, and those mountains are full of copper. So mining, a lot of people wanted to mine in these areas. So still, you know, in my last trip, I saw a lot of socavones, you know, these like holes, I would say, that the Spaniard miners did in the colonial time. You know, so they are still existing. So just to give a support, what Juan Victor says is that the Spaniards arrived to these areas because they were looking for a lot of gold. Well, you know, he was showing us in the previous diapositivas. ¿Puedes presentar la primera diapositiva, Juan Víctor, por favor? You know, he is explaining to us the name of the trail and the passes that the Spaniards used. La siguiente, papi. You know, and then he said that the pass that the Spaniards took for reaching to Eros was Wilcacunca. Wilcacunca means the neck, the sacred neck. Okay, the sacred neck, Wilcacunca. You know, so in this photo, you can see, you know, down in the valley, you know, the old trails that the Spaniards took together with their horses. Yeah, and then he is showing us all the sacred mountains of the Jero people. La siguiente diapositiva, papi, donde está la montaña del... ¿Ya, Elizabeth?
This one says Abra Vilcahuanca. Is that a different?
Ya, la
Vilcahuanca is like sacred song.
but let's confirm with Juan Víctor first. If it's el Abra es Wilcahuanca o es Wilcacunca.
Wilcahuanca.
Wilcahuanca. ¿Qué significa Wilcahuanca?
Wicca sería el lugar sagrado y es lugar sagrado donde en cada abra se realiza lo que es apachete, ¿no?
Yeah, it's a sacred place according to the translation of Juan Víctor. Yeah, Wilcahuanca. Yeah. Ujú. So,
Sigue,
la montaña del Guairuroni, ¿dónde está? ¿Se ve en esta
Más
foto la montaña?
Más
No.
adelante vamos a apreciar esto es de parte de Wicacum.
Yeah, okay. So this is all these mountains, and this is actually the campsite, you know, the campsite where the Spaniards camped when they arrived to Queros. You know, the name of the campsite was Chulupampa, okay? And then we have here the name, I mean, the Apu, the protector Apu, which is the Wairuroni. If you have been in the previous Sunday Sami services, we had the history of Apu Wairuroni, you know, how the Apu Wairuroni, you know, helped to the Fero people and protected against the Spaniards as well. So that was a very neat history, right? So that area, you know, that trail that the Spaniards took, it is in between the communities of Chalma Chimpana and Chua Chua. Ya, continúen, papis, continúen.
Ya, yo voy a continuar.
Perfecto,
Ah,
Gloria.
yo voy a explicar. Ya. Ñuqapas willarisaykis awla chay hakupa quispe flores willawarqan. Chay ñuqapas compartirita munashani llapaykichis. Ya, willkawanqa q'asatasi españolkuna wasapamuran. Chaymantataq ichaqa chayamun Chulupampan kashan Chuwawan ch'alma chimpanawan fronterantin. O sea, unu chaypi tupashan huk pampa. Chay pampapis campamentuta ruwarqanku españolkuna. Pachaq illarimuyllanta punshaqta inkakunata hapisunchis nispa. Inkakunataq ichaqa preparasqa karanku napa apukunawan contacto karqanña espía españolkuna hamusqanta yacharankuña. Entonces Guairuruni puntapis despachuta ruwaranku altumisayuqkuna. Chaymanta pacha illarimuyta saywata pirqaspataq ichaqa kikin napi imas. Pukalluqllapis españolkunata llapachankuta sipiranku. Saywata pirmiruta chuqaymunku chiwan kushkata irrumpi haykunpurqan lluqlla. Hinaspata icha mana haykaqpis chayarankuchu q'iru kikinmanqa. Ni ima españolpis chayarqanchik llapachan españolkunas wañupurqan pukalluqllapi.
Ajá, perfecto. Okay, so Gloria is adding this part of the information that actually wasn't written in any book, you know. So the part that Gloria is speaking, it is this tradition that her grandmom told her, you know. So the name of her grandmom was Jacoba Quispe Flores, ¿ya? ¿Es el nombre de tu abuelita?
Sí.
Exacto.
Cuba.
¿Jacoba era?
Sí, Jacupa.
Seguramente viene de Jacoba. Ajá.
Sí, no sé.
Ajá. Jacoba Quispe Flores. That was the name of her grandmom. So she told this tradition to Gloria, saying that when the Spaniards arrived, they arrived through the trail which passes on the Wilcahuanca Pass, and then farther down, right at the congruence of two rivers, which is the Chalma Chimpana River and Chua Chua, there is one place called Chulupampa. This is the place where they camped. When the Spaniards noticed, that the Incas were still living in this area, they committed to attack to the Q'ero people. Yeah. So the spy of the Spaniards approached to the community of Hatunqueros, and they saw that the population was there. So the plan of the Spaniards was to attack to Hatunqueros right before the sun rises, right? But the Q'ero people noticed that the Spaniards were there and they weaved a plan. The community of Q'eros, they started to plan the defense to the community, while the Alto Misayok, the high-level priests, they went to the Wairuroni mountain, to the top, for making the sacred offering to the Apu. Wairuroni, the Apu, it is the protector Apu of the Q'ero nation, together with the Poconi mountain, both of them. The tradition says that when the Alto Misayok did the Haiwarikui at the top of this mountain, they built also a saiwa. A saiwa is the same as an apacheta, so they made this. So when the Spaniards were committing to continue to Hatunqueros, they pushed down the saiwa. Yeah, this is, look what is the saiwa. Yeah, in this diapositiva we see what is the saiwa. They pushed the saiwa, and this saiwa provoked a big landslide, which in the history of the Q'ero people, it is the Pucalloclla. The Pucalloclla, it is a tradition that speaks how the Spaniards were killed, all of them, when they were committing to pass to Hatunqueros, the Pucalloclla just buried to all of them. Yeah, so this is linked to
Pucalloclla
the
means
information.
landslide? Sorry, Freddie. Pucalloclla is landslide?
Yes, but it's red,
Thank you.
the red landslide. This is the literal translation to an English. Pucalloclla, it is the red landslide. Why is Pucalloclla? Because the Wairuroni mountain is red, it's full of iron. Ya, continúen, Munay Chankashan, continúen.
Otto.
Imanatin Pucalloclla nispa sutiayku, Pucalloclla, chipsa yawar puririrqan, llapan españolkuna chipi wañurqan. Ñuwarqan maula chay chipi karqanraqsi caballo monturankuna, rentapis karqanraqsi, pay kaqtin, pay runayaqti, chipis karqan hinaraq. Chay chuynaqya Pucalloclla oranpis kashan huk uñakuchalla, o sea, un pequeño laguna. Chima semana runa chaykumanchu chima chikuchamasi apayrqan lluqlla llapachanta español kunata mana ch'ullayuqta chik manas hayk'aqpis chayarqankuchu namanqa q'eru kikimanqa q'erupitaq karan q'eru runa inkakuna karqan pero chakra ruwaqkuna lo que llevaban los incas a Cusco los productos en llama y está pasando qhapaqñan está pasando por nuestro pueblo, o sea que por Q'ero está pasando hasta la ciudad perdida, la que dicen en Paitite, Chima se rerqana, Chima pasashan qhapaqñan Chimanta chipisa inka kuna ero pitiaranku chimanta techaqa apamurqanku hasta Cuscoman mijuita. Manas hayk'aq español kunaq chayarqanchu Perumanqa. Hayk'aqña chayanku hasta conquistas q'ena Perú suyo kaqtinña chayarqanku español kunaqa. Si han llegado después ya.
Okay, so Gloria says, why also is called as Pucalloclia, okay, this red landslide? It is because, you know, there was of hundreds of people blood there, you know, which is the Spaniards. Yeah. So there has been formed a little lake down there, you know, because the landslide, you know. So also that lake, it is a place where nobody can get in because reminds them, you know, the arrival of the Spaniards. And yeah, you know, her grandmother, Gloria's grandmother, you know, when, you know, as far she remembers, when she started to use her consciousness, you know, she remembers, you know, she saw still some saddles of the horses, you know, that were there that belonged to the Spaniards. So when we speak about this event, we are talking about after the Spaniards conquered the whole Peru nation, say, you know, all that area. Because the Spaniards arrived to Queros quite late, okay? This is looking for a gold. The Inca people were living in Hatun Queros, you know, isolated. They were farmers, and the only connection they had was the Capajñan, or the trails of abundance, which we call the Inca trails. This Inca trail had connection with Cusco, okay, and the extension to the lost city of Paititi. So the Q'ero people in somehow were the guardians of the entrance to this hidden or lost city, as the history names in books in Peru, right? So it is very nice the fact that the Spaniards couldn't arrive to Hatunqueros. If they would, then perhaps they would have followed the trail to Paititi, but the mountain of Wairuroni was very fundamental in the defense of this holy area. Yeah. So the conquistadors or the invaders to nowadays, they couldn't reach to these areas. Wow.
Freddie, one question.
Yeah,
In this
entonces,
picture right now, is Wairuroni the left mountain or the right mountain? Which one is Poconi? Which one is Wairuroni? Please.
Ya. ¿Cuál de las montañas es el Wairuroni? ¿Y cuál de las montañas, si lo vemos, es el Poconi?
Wairuruni se ve, pero Foconi no se ve. Está más abajito, pero
Ya.
son fronteras. Acá está
Ya.
Wairuruni y acá está Foconi. En Foconi también hay una ciudad que está abandonado de los incas.
Ajá.
Ahí también dirían,
este
sí.
lado es la mano derecha de la pantalla. Acá.
Ya.
Este es
Yeah, so the
Y más
mountain to
abajito
the,
está.
yeah,
la montaña, ahí está el foco.
okay, so on your screen, to the right side, it is the Poconi, no, sorry, the Wairuroni mountain. A little further down, it is the Poconi, which we cannot see, but is in front.
And what's the one on the left side?
Y la montaña a la izquierda, ¿cómo se llama?
No sé. Es parte de Toturania. No,
Ajá.
no sé la verdad. ¿Cómo se
So
llama?
that belongs to Otorani. But Gloria doesn't remember the name.
Pero Toturania.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
you can see the trail that
Thank you.
goes
Entonces,
the lower part. Ya, continúa Juan Víctor.
Ya mira, en Quero mismo tenemos las ciudades que están abandonados. Lo que es en Corumarca tenemos un pueblo, los que vivían nuestros antepasados. Y también tenemos al frente de Corumarca, tenemos otra ciudad ancatiana que se llama. Y en otro lado tenemos otra ciudad que está abandonada de nuestro antepasado que se llama Canincunca. Y otro abajo está el ¿cómo se llama? Ay, no, no me recuerdo.
Está bien, no hay problema, no te preocupes. Suficiente
Sí,
con eso.
tenemos en 4 lados. En 4 lados los pueblos que están abandonados, y eso a mí me gustaría hacer, reconocer o limpiar. Y eso es mi gran paña. También hay todavía en partes pequeños, dice hay todavía, pero yo no he podido encontrar esos caminos. Y con el tiempo me gustaría lograrlo, hacer ¿cómo se llama?
Restaurar, reconocer,
Sí.
restaurar y estudiarlo, ¿cierto?
Sí, ese es mi gran sueño. Siempre he tenido ese sueño y quisiera
Ya.
lograr con él en el futuro.
Cuenta conmigo, Gloria, los dos lo vamos a hacer. Yo también estoy interesado.
Yo también.
Exacto, ya somos 3
Ay,
por
muchas
3.
gracias. Y una cosa más, dice, tenemos también en la selva anterior, nomás me dijo mi mamá del bosque. Y hasta no sé cómo se llama, pero dice, es bien bonito el lugar, dice. Pero yo mismo no he llegado, pero quisiera llegar y también voy a llegar.
¿Cómo se llama el bosque?
Pero bueno, ahora estamos haciendo todo, los comuneros de Cairo están haciendo maíz, pero nunca he llegado yo. Pero lo llamamos monte nomás.
El monte, claro, sí. Ok. Ok, hasta
Sí,
acá voy a
quisiera,
traducir. ¿Ya?
pero no sé cómo se llama.
Te quiero preguntar algo antes de traducir. Entonces, las comunidades actuales de Choachoa, Chalmachimpana, Cochamoco, estos son pueblos modernos. Ahí no había pueblo antes, sino vivían en Jorimarca, Ancatiana, en Canincunca. Esas eran las poblaciones antiguas, ¿cierto?
Sí, sí.
Ok.
Ahora Chuachua, Cochamo sí son modernos. ¿Sabes por qué se han subido arriba? Porque ya no hay nieve. Cuando había acá de Colpacucho, todo era nieve, dice antes, todito. Y abajo era lo que hacían productos. Y lo que vivíamos nosotros era Ero mismo.
Okay, so I have a very big understanding about what is all about the Q'ero nation. Okay, so Gloria explains to us, and this is through the information source which comes from her family, like her grandmom, right? So she got this information that the actual communities of Chuachua, Chalmachimpana, Cochamoco, Colpacucho, all these are modern communities. It's the, say, communities where I would say relatively recently the Q'ero people dominated, because if we talk about, say, the 18th or the 19th century, okay, more or less, all these areas were covered in snow, so people wouldn't live there. After the snow melted, or receded, all these areas came to be good areas for your llamas and alpacas, and then is when they started to populate it. Gloria's family explains that there are the remains of the ancient Ero communities, and still to nowadays there are the ruins of those places, which names are Coromarca, Ancatiana, Canincunca. There are the remains of the houses there, and also the remains of the Inca trails connecting there. Gloria's dream, it is to make the visit, the restoration, and a study of these places. She wants to arrive there and she wants to know more about these ancient communities. Yeah. So as Hatunqueros, which used to be the formal community of the Hatunquero nation people, right? So also there is a part of the residents of the Q'ero people in this place which they call only as El Monte. There is this place where the Q'ero people farms a lot of maize and endemic plants proper from those altitudes, which is below 2,000 or 2,500 meters above sea level. Yeah, actually, that is an area which is at the foothills of the mountain with a connection to the Amazon basin, where the hidden or the golden city or the lost city is, which we know as Paititi. Yeah. So this is the information that she's giving to us about the Q'ero communities. Right. Okay. Continúen.
And Freddie, she said there was 4. Can I just make sure I have the names right, Fredicito, please? You
Yeah.
said one was Coro Marca or Corimarca.
She said Coro. Es Coro Marca, ¿no es cierto? No es Corimarca.
No, Corumarca.
Ya, es Coro Marca. A ver si te recuerdas el último nombre de la comunidad, el que no te recuerdas. The second one is Ancatiana.
Ancatiana. Okay.
Intecahuana, me recordé. Lo que es de la selva es Intecahuana, la mirada del sol.
Ya.
El nombre de la ciudad que está dentro del bosque.
Ya, excelente, muy bien. Ya, es Joromarca, Ancatiana, Canincunca.
Canincunca.
Exactly. Yeah.
Got it.
And the last one, it is, in El Monte, which is Inticahuana, which means from where you see the sun rising.
Ya, continuando con la exposición o presentación, en Apu Joponi también se encuentra lo que es el lugar de Usno, donde hacen ceremonia, ¿no? Donde han hecho los altomisayos el contacto que han hecho con los espíritus de los Apus, ¿no? Entonces, donde han realizado, entonces, ahí está el Usno, entonces también sería mucho mejor restaurarlo y dar conservación, ¿no?
Aha. So when we speak, Yeah, when we speak about the Poconi mountain, you know, we spoke about the Wairoroni, yeah, and the Pucalloclia. But there is another mountain which is considered as the protector of the Q'ero nation, Q'ero people, is the Poconi mountain. At this place, there is an Ushnu, exists still the Ushnu, or the, I would say, the sacred place where the ancient Alto Misayog made the connection with the power of the Apus, you know, to defend the Q'ero nation people. See, Juan Victor says that would be nice also to make a restoration of this temple, this Ushnu, right? So there is in the Poconi mountain too. So there is a lot to see in Q'eros.
That would be like an amazing historic site that you can go and see the Ushnu of Poconi and read the history, the whole history of the saving of the Q'ero nation from the Spanish. How cool is that? Ujú. Ya pues.
Después, papi.
Después, solo agradecer a todos los incas o a los misayos que han hecho ese contacto con los espíritus de la naturaleza, ¿no? Gracias a ellos no han podido extraer los oros, han venido a saquear, ¿no? Entonces, ellos se han organizado, entonces como tenían contacto con los espíritus, con la naturaleza, con Pachamama, con los Apus, es por eso que no han podido saquear de la comunidad, pero ni tampoco a nadie le ha dañado a los incas, ¿no? Que vivían acá.
So next, Juan Victor highly appreciates and thanks give to the nature beings, okay, and to the Alto Misayok, to the high-level priests of that time, you know, on uniting their powers in order to defend to the Incas who were living in Q'eros, whose descendants are people who we are learning from the Inca tradition. See, Juan Victor says that this is a real understanding of the sacred convivence of people, the Inca Q'ero people, with their nature beings, you know. So he highly appreciates that all these events happened, you know, and the Spaniards could not arrive and kill to the Q'ero people living there and not even arrive to their golden places. Perhaps different would be the history if we wouldn't have the Pucalloclia, the work of Wairuroni and Poconi, you know? So he highly appreciates that the history has been presented in this way. Gloria, ¿quieres añadir algo? Abre el micrófono. Abre el micrófono, Glorita.
Ay, sí.
Ahora sí.
Ahora estamos diciendo la ciudad Intihuatana, dice, hay caminos por partes, hay todavía hasta el momento, lo que llamamos Japagñán. Y dice, está subiendo por Pulane Después hay unas ciudades, hay todavía casitas. Así me contó mi mamá anteayer, nomás me estaba preguntando y me estaba diciendo. Bien bonito, dice, hay caminos en lo que es
Ujú.
Capañán. Se ve todavía.
Ajá.
Eso es lo que quería.
Okay, so Gloria has been looking for information for her presentation, and she spoke to her mom. And her mom said and told her that in the third and the fourth village, which leads to the jungle, which name is Inti Kawana, there is a beautiful trail that goes there, right? Which we call Kapaknyan or the trails of abundance. Yeah. So she says that it's a very nice walk. It's very nice to arrive through these Inca trails to Inti Kawana community. Yeah. So it's the information that comes, from people who has been there. So who is her mom?
Amazing. Do folks have any questions? We just have a couple more minutes.
I do, Elizabeth, about the Inca trails and how is it connected to the NASCAR lines that like it looks like it similarly. If there's something else from the pre-Columbian southern area.
Yeah. Nazca is all the way on the coast. And so the Capagnan is very far away in a completely different kind of environment that is very flat and arid. And from what are Nazca lines are from 3,000 years ago, Freddie, or something like
The
that?
Nazca,
I
the
don't
Nazca
know.
people, the Nazca people are from the years 800s.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So to
So
nowadays would be like
pre
1,000 and 1,000 and more, 1,200 years to nowadays.
okay.
Yeah, but
So in a
completely Elizabeth,
different flat and
but
coastal
the Inca trails arrived to the coast, arrived to the whole Pacific coast.
Yeah.
So there are 32,000 kilometers of Inca trails studied to nowadays. And bits of this, it is the Inca trails, running through Eros, or the one goes through the Sacred Valley and Machu Picchu. Those are just little samples of it. 32,000 kilometers of Inca trails studied by the Ministry of Culture of Peru.
I can tell you, Don, when I was in Bolivia on the Capacñan, on the Inca Trail that went through the mountains there, it was crazy. At times, the roads were so beautiful, so perfect. In the middle of the mountain, you could drive a Volkswagen Beetle on it.
Exactly.
Easy, a beautiful road.
Mhm.
And then there's some crazy Japanese guy that still thinks it's World War II or something, and he's living up there with a beautiful garden of cherry trees that you just come upon in the middle of nothing.
Seriously?
Yes, that was 20 years ago when I hiked that Inca trail. What's that one that goes to Bolivia? You know the name of it, Freddie? Caramba.
Oh, there are a lot of Inca trails in Bolivia. A lot.
So many.
The Inca trails are connecting the modern countries of Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia, the north of Chile, and the northwest of Argentina. See, you will see, if I speak about the 32,000 kilometers, I'm talking about evidences in these 5 countries. Estamos hablando de los caminos incas que cubren los modernos países de Colombia, Ecuador, Perú, Bolivia, el norte de Chile y el noroeste de Argentina. Y les estamos informando que hay 32,000 kilómetros de caminos inca estudiados por el Ministerio de Cultura en el Perú. Y unos pequeñísimos ejemplos de estos caminos están en Queros o los que existen en el Valle Sagrado o el camino inca que viaja a Machu Picchu.
Very nice. All right. Well, thank you so much, Gloria, Juan Víctor.
Muchas gracias,
Excelente.
Gloria. Muchas gracias, Juan Víctor. Excelente, muy bonito.
Muchas gracias con todos. Espero que les haya agradado de alguna manera. Sí.
Muchísimo.
Muchas gracias. Estoy
Ya,
muy contento. Muchas gracias.
Gloria.
Fuerte abrazo a cada uno de
Gracias, gracias. Gloria, antes de tus agradecimientos, vaya preparando el plan para ir a visitar Joromarca, Ancatiana, Canincunca y Inticahuarina. Vamos a ser
Por
los
favor.
exploradores.
Sí.
Sí,
Sí.
mucho gusto.
Vamos
Excelente,
allá.
muy bien.
Estoy de acuerdo.
Hey, Freddie,
Excelente, súper excelente.
can I ask real quick?
Muchas gracias.
Yes, Susie Ross has
Muy
a question.
agradecido por lo
Yeah, about the
Gracias.
mountains that in Keros that we've been talking about. What do they mean? What's the translation of like Poconi and Wairuroni? Sounds like wind and what?
Wairuroni is from Wairuro. You know the red and black seed of the jungle?
Uh-huh.
Have the bracelets made out of? You guys have seen those. I'm sure the Wairuro is because the mountain is red and black. So it is Wairuroni. From the word Wairuro.
Exactly. ¿Y qué significa Poconi, chicos?
Poconi es como un mountain, digo, apu femenina de Wairuruni, ¿no? De Wairuruni es el
Ah, okay. Poconi is the mate
más
of
común.
Wairuruni.
Son parejas, ¿no?
Ajá, they are Yanantin.
Sí.
That's super cool.
Y
Eh,
también el Wairuruni,
femenina.
What
Poconi,
does Poconi mean?
They don't know what's the real meaning of Poconi. So let's ask to our masters, perhaps they know.
Okay, good idea.
Gracias. Muy
Thank you
importante. Comprendo un poquito más.
Muchas gracias. Don dice de que ahora comprende un poquito más de Queros. Muchas gracias, chicos.
espero.
Muchísimas gracias.
Nosotros esperamos para mostrar en físico, ¿no? Las montañas, las sabidurías ancestrales, ¿no? Estamos
Ari.
muy contentos.
Mhm.
Ali.
So Juan Victor says that he doesn't want to tell you only a history. In some time, he wants to show you, physically those places. So if you have a chance to come to Peru, let's go to Queros. Yes.
Una día.
Sí, en algún día va a suceder esto, Juan Víctor, Gloria.
Hasta luego.
Hasta luego.
Muchas gracias.
Gracias. Chao, chao.
Chao, chao. Goodbye.
Gracias.
Chao, Susie Ross.
Bye.
Enjoy